is this going to be a sporadic one-time video, or am I going to keep making them? Because I haven't made a video in like a year's time. I don't even know if that English was great then, but yeah, I haven't made a video in a year. I'm having a go now, and I am going to be discussing what I've been doing the last year, which is my art foundation, preparing for university as a mature student. So what I thought I'd do is I'd make a video and talk about my experiences, because if you're considering going to university or anything like that and you are a mature student and you're thinking, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go, what am I doing with my life? Hey, calm, it's cool. I'm going to talk about it. It's going to be fine. So I have just finished my art foundation at Liverpool Community College, which was the best experience of my life. I left my job in sales. I was made redundant. I was working in an art shop for 4 years and loved it. Genuinely did think that my life was like set up. Only got GCSEs, not that many. I've got no A levels, literally left school, went into working, and found myself working at an art shop, which was perfect. And then unfortunately I got made redundant. So started working back in sales and doing stuff like that. Didn't really like it. It's something that I'm good at, but I don't want to do something for the rest of my life and not be the thing that like it brings me joy, brings me happiness. So last August I walked out my job, and I did not know what to do, and I started college in the September, and I was so full of like fear and just panic and anxiety, just thinking, oh my god, I'm going to go onto this course, no one's going to get me, I'm going to be the oldest person there. And I wasn't necessarily the oldest person there. There was people my age there, but not that many. Majority of the people that were there were between the ages of 18 and 19, and they are the greatest group of people that I've like ever met. They're just like amazing. I genuinely have made some like lifelong friends. It's like absolutely amazing. So I'm going to talk about what kind of work that you're going to have to do on the course, because it is a giant amount of work and it really is beneficial. Even if like you're a first year student considering doing fine art, do a foundation. You're gonna get the kind of feeling of what it's like to actually do a full-time art course, and I loved it, but it is a lot. So I applied in the back end of August for the course, and I went down and had my meeting with the lady there. I just basically took art that I've been doing, you know, for myself for the last like 10 years, just put it in a folder and took it with me. I wouldn't really worry about that too much. What they're looking for is to see if you've actually got like drawing skills and the drive and the ability to actually do the course. They were a little worried with me because of my education background, that lack thereof, that I was not going to be able to deal with the workload, but because of my life experience, they took that into account. So instead of having to do a 2-year BTEC, I was able to do the 1-year foundation. And they give me the option, like, let us know in 3 weeks' time if you're kind of feeling like it's getting, you know, a bit too much and you're sinking. But luckily for me, I was like a duck to water and just took to it, so perfect. And to be honest with you, anyone will do that. I was working like pretty much full time while I was doing this course, which was 3 days a week. It was Monday to Wednesday, and I was like finishing college at 4 o'clock and then being in work for 4:30 and then working through till 8:30, and then on my days off from college doing full days in work as well. So some days I wasn't actually getting a day off, and I still managed to do this course, and I came out with a distinction, which I'm made up with. So let's talk a little bit about the workload. So I've got all my sketchbooks in front of me. I'm going to do like, I don't know whether anyone will be interested in me doing like sketchbook tours. I don't know. I might do them. I might find it fun, which to be honest with you, that's all that really matters with making these kind of videos. Because I'm not making any money off this. I'm just a bit of a narcissist and I like to talk. And currently I'm on my own and there's no one for me to talk to. So the first 4 weeks of foundation was super fun. So on the foundation you had 4 different topics that you could choose. So fine art, which is my major. You've got design. You've got obviously a fine art there. 3D design and textiles, which is something that's just fallen out of that book. I am not sure what. So the first one that we did was approaches to drawing, which was design. So this, by the way, is 1 week's work. So that is like 1 week's work. And it was so much fun. So in this one we actually got to make a kinetic drawing machine, and the camera fell. Crazy. Yeah, crazy. So the camera fell, so I'm gonna have to start again a little bit. So here's my approaches to drawing, which was the design aspect. I really loved this. Even though I didn't choose this class, I found it really beneficial anyway with other things, because it kind of gave me like the inkling. So what you would get given was a brief, and so in this you've got to like record like drawings, you've got to do like artist research. They give you sort of examples here of like who to research if you're unsure. Mind mapping was a big thing, which I completely forgot about mind mapping, and now I do that like all the time, even for like small decisions. Like, I don't know, I just think mind mapping is such a great way of getting all of your thoughts down onto the page when you want to mind dump. But yeah, this is like for like my first attempt. It's like I can definitely see like what the person who I had my interview with was saying about my work being quite I was quite stuck, and I didn't really have the kind of tools to branch out and think outside of the box, which is something which this course taught me, really, to be honest with you. And I think especially if you are going through an art course, it's a way of you understanding like the world around you. Well, it is for me anyway. It might not be for you, but it is for me. That's how I understand the world and how I tackle topics. And one thing that I think that people do take from foundation is they understand what type of artist that they're going to become. And now I know that I'm a politically led artist. I mean, obviously you can tell by my fringe that the topics that I like to discuss are feminism, and I am easily offended. Yeah, so approaches to drawing, great. So as well, there's so many different facilities that you get. Like, I mean, I'd never done screen printing before. I love Andy Warhol like so much. Like, that's like genuinely, like, I'm so interested in his work, because I feel like it's affected, like him and Salvador Dali, like affected like pretty much everything that we do today, like visually everything we do today. I could do screen printing. That was like amazing. There's all these different things that you can learn. But one thing with foundation is you've got to kind of choose which direction you want to go in. So this is like the first month, first 4 weeks, this is what you do. And you're like doing a bit of fine arts. I've got things all sorts falling out of this book. These are like people that I kind of found like inspiring. Oh no. But yeah, these are like books are like full. 3D design I didn't really enjoy personally, but I know a lot of people did. I'm not really into architecture and clay and that kind of stuff. It's not really something that I would like to do myself, but I appreciate it and I understand it, and I'm happy. Like, obviously I'm super happy it exists, because I live in a lovely, you know, fancy building, which is obviously some wonderful architect who's gone through like a buttload of university is like planned, and every single stone in my building has been thought of by somebody and placed there, and the design aspect and why is it laid out this way and yeah, so it's very interesting. Not for me, but it's very interesting. Textiles, again, I love. So for me it was going to be between textiles and fine art. That was pretty much like where I was going to go with this. Originally, sorry, I'm just getting comfy. Originally, I went into the course with this very like rigid idea of like what I was going to be doing and what kind of artist I was, and I was going to be an illustrator, and that was me. Illustration, that's what I do. And it was like I was very stuck in drawing like these kawaii kind of inspired pictures of like food with faces, and I was very kind of like, about a lot of tattoo stuff as well, like a sort of like tattoo art, which again, I still love that, but now my work has meaning, and I'm not just creating for the sake of creating, which is what the foundation teaches you. And the reason why, I mean, I'll show you a little bit of the textiles book. So it's like line to stitch. So we started off doing like line drawings, and then sort of turning them into like doing little sketches and like do it, which I'm actually like, I do this to chill out now. I actually do embroider to chill out, and I didn't even consider like doing line drawings will be part of like textiles, but obviously for continuous line drawing, when you're like sketching and then you want to transfer it into, you know, you're stitching, you're making a line, you're drawing it. It's basically another tool. And like people like, I really got into like Tracy Emin this year as well, which is something that like, these are like some of like the textile things that I did. I did this on the machine and then like hand embroidered. I just loved it. I just thought it was like so much fun. But one thing that I was not prepared for was evaluating. Like, oh my God, evaluating. I think that was genuinely like the bane of my existence when I did. So the first one that I did, so I can't even get my words out. So after you've done the rotation, and then you choose an elective, so you can choose one of the subjects to try out for a month. And I chose fine art because I mean, to be honest with you, I love it. If Tok ever sees this, I'll be so happy, because he's genuinely like the best teacher that I've ever had in my entire life. He's just like amazing. And he kind of helped me understand about why I was creating, which that's like a huge responsibility. I'm like, oh my God, like, why am I creating this? I'm not just going to create, like, I don't know, I've just created a cup of tea. This is going to bring me joy. That's the reason why I'm, you know, making this cup of tea. And also because it keeps me, you know, sane. So yeah, I chose to do Tok's, which is fine art, which when he explained to me what the meaning of fine art was, like, you make art for yourself. You can do anything within fine art, so you can be like a fine art textile artist. Like, what's his face? Gaudi. I mean, Gaudi wasn't just an architect. He was an artist. If you look at his paintings and you look at his building, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Like, you can combine anything within fine art, and that freedom for me was the right direction to go to. Like, if you want to be a fashion designer, obviously maybe textiles will be the one for you. But like, I've started liking to use textiles in my artwork, and that's like, yeah. There's like different ways that you can like bring it in. So the first one I did was the first elective was journeys. So they give you the elective, and with this, I don't know whether I've got it on the back actually. You have there's different criteria that you've got to hit. So to pass the project, you've got to hit a certain amount of criteria to actually pass. So my journeys was, I actually did a pilgrimage. I wanted to actually go to the place I was born, but unfortunately with work schedules and things like that, it just didn't happen. I did other things within the project. Like I did a sharing journal, which I never heard anything back. I'm hoping that one day someone will have found this book. I left it on the train, and it's just like a journal where I just wanted people to just create and then leave it somewhere else so someone else can create. Yeah, so this is one of the electives just bursting out there. So this was like all before December. This is like September to December, so all the books that you've just seen. Then I kind of sort of like, I kind of compacted. I think I went a bit overboard. I was just like sticking everything in my book, just like, oh my God. The second project that we did was light. And I started off like looking at like things like bioluminescence. Where are we? Oh, here we go. Here's a criteria sheet. So these are like the criteria. So like 1.1, identify appropriate methods and materials to develop ideas. So you've got to prove within that book to a certain standard what was covered. Like demonstrate practical skills and processes for creative production. And like sometimes I would get a little bit lost with the words. So that's one thing. If you've not really had much of an education background, especially if I'm 30 like next month, so I was starting the course at 29. Last time I was in a classroom I was 16. So the marking and the way they do things has completely changed, and it did throw me for six. And like I'd say the first elective, when I had to sit down and talk about it, it was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. I felt like such a failure. I felt like I couldn't talk about what I wanted to do. But by the next one, I knew what I was doing. So this book has got 2 projects in. One is the light project, which I need to find. Is this the light? Yes, here we go. So yeah, the light projects started off. The good thing is as well that they would do like class, like sort of projects as well. So it's like part of the light project we might all do one thing and it'll cover a criteria. But the best thing is if you are struggling with the criteria, just speak to somebody. Like all my colleagues helped me so much because it's like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, and in turn I would help them with other things. Speak to people on the course and don't let your age or anything really get in the way of that, because I've made some fantastic connections, like I was saying at the start of the video, like some of the best friends that I will ever have that I've made this year, and it's like amazing. So yeah, this is like the light project. So I started off in if you look at my mind map, so I start off basically looking at things like bioluminescence and neon and everything like that, and all these things that I find interesting. And I took this in a completely different way by something that I saw in the December. I saw a article about a woman being sexually assaulted at a festival in New Zealand where a man ran over to her and grabbed her breast and thought that was okay. And that kind of led me to then do my whole entire project on shining a light on sexual assault. So it's like taking the word light and then changing it completely and shining a light. And I ended up making a sex doll, which again, like the material as well, because it's like so thin that it can be burst, but you can patch it up, and that's basically like a victim. So it also had like semiotic kind of qualities, and like, yeah, it's just thinking about things on the way, when also talking to people around you as well gives you different ideas. And like the best thing about like these books are like these are just like the holy grail, because even though I didn't go down like the neon route or bioluminescence, I'm really still interested in those topics. So I've already started the research on those that can affect further projects that I do down the line. And I just love it. See, I can't wait to start uni in like literally like 3-4 weeks. I'm just like, I just want it to be now. I just want it to be right now because I'm so hyped. I'm gonna sit there and just talk about art for forever. We also did the time project. I didn't find this, for me, I didn't find it too interesting. But I kind of did, a lot of my work has got to do with myself as well. I think that I'm quite a personal artist. And I was doing it around like aging. And the fact that obviously I am turning 30 and it is a thing in like memento mori, and a lot of people got these hang-ups of being 30, and I wanted to kind of do something about that because I found it like it's a pivotal time in someone's life. For me, my stance on it, I'm feeling extremely excited about turning 30. I feel like it's a whole new chapter in my life where I'm finally doing what I should be doing and what I've wanted to do for years. So they were all the electives from September until March, and what they were getting you to do there was like none of that work actually goes towards your final grade. Your final grade is one project that runs from the March until the end of the year. So in effect, I think it's like 10 weeks, because obviously you have like the Easter break in the middle. It's supposed to be 8 weeks, but obviously you get the 10. And it was so daunting, like running your own project. You get given basically the criteria you've got to follow, but the subject, you've got to make that up. Like, you've got to start that. And the way I went about it, because I actually took a class at Apple, so all the sketchbooks that I had there, all the time, like cutting things out and sticking and painting and everything like that, I decided that I was going to do a digital sketchbook on my iPad, which I have here. So this is my digital iPad, and the best thing about this was that I can move things around really easy. So if I start writing a note, okay, let's see, okay, like raunch culture. So that was like something that really interested me in this project. It was basically like this project stemmed again from the light project. It was like another extension of that. It was about female empowerment and what empowerment means and how people interpret it, and I took it in loads of different ways. But like the good thing with this, so say for instance, I'm talking about raunch culture, I'm writing in my notebook, and then 3 weeks later, I find something else out that I want to put in with this. I can just add another page in, like literally like here, and just continue. All these pictures, just copy and paste rather than going on to like Word and copy and pasting the picture from here and the time, it's just like snap, 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 snap. I ended up printing off the book, which again was a bit annoying. I think how much it cost me, because I printed it off in college. It was 5p, and my book is like 220 pages, and I had to go get it thermal bound. But like now I've done it and now I know what the process is, I'm gonna be printing pages off as I go and keeping it like in a folder if I'm gonna be doing digital work. But I can't see myself going back to doing just sketchbook work. It will, cause like the good thing is as well with the digital sketchbook is like all of this writing like here. So like these are in one of my, like I always have a notebook with me always and a pen, and here is just me writing my thoughts, and to get it into the book I just take a picture of the notebook and stick it straight into here, and then I always back it up to like Google Drive, so I know I've always got a copy of the actual work that I've done. So that is that. We also, at the end of your foundation, you do your final show, which basically means, and this is also part of the criteria as well with UAL, you've got to present a professional display. So that means like you've got to sand your boards down, you've got to polyfill them, you've got to like paint them, make sure like the area is like lovely and clean. And I don't even know if I've got any pictures of that. I know I do have some pictures somewhere, but whether there's any that I can actually show you of the actual exhibition, I don't even know if I put any in the sketchbook, or whether it was, I was panicking about getting the sketchbook printed off, so I actually printed it off before like I actually finished it on here. So the actual physical sketchbook that I printed and then worked in is actually in the college still, and I won't be able to claim that until September, I don't think. I'm not sure. I mean, to be honest with it, I'd really like to just go in and go and get it now. I don't even know if I've got pictures left. Let me have a little look. Probably should have done this before I started filming, eh? But, you know, you guys can wait. You can chill out. We can talk. I don't understand how to work computers. This is... Oh, here... Oh. It was a video. That's okay. See, if I can go to uni and figure it out, then everybody else bloody well can as well. Let's see. God, I've taken a lot of pictures since I finished. That's one thing that I am super struggling with, is I've really, really, really missed going to college every day. It's like, it's just so much fun. It's such an amazing experience to actually just go. And I think uni is going to be so much better because you actually get a physical space where you can work. So it's not necessarily just like a classroom. Like the college experience was like a classroom, but it didn't stop me from creating. It's like these are the actual, I don't know whether you can see these, right? So these are the actual spaces that we got given. There's some of my work before I framed it, before I've even blown it up. This is like before I've like, this all my artworks, that's my friend's work. Where are we? So the actual display when I finished it kind of looked like this. I don't know whether this is a live video or whether I'll be able to play it. Oh no. Oh no, it's not. It's not a live video. God, I'm stupid, aren't I? I'm just like, is this? I don't know. I can just imagine you guys at home just be like, oh my God, just like press this, it's not this, it's not, calm down. That's like one of my little displays. You have like your work. Oh, these are all the lovely guys I went to college with. They're just so fab. Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Let's see. There's me with my display. Look, I'm very, very proud. Very, very happy. I've done it. This is great. Yeah. So that was my year at foundation. Another part of the criteria is like you do a foundation because you're working towards something. So either you're working towards a professional career within the art world, or you are working towards university, and that is part of the criteria. If you are at foundation and you are 18 when you start the course, you will have to do a work experience. Luckily for me, I'm old and I didn't have to do a work experience, but that's something that you will have to consider if you are 18 years old. work experience. So just literally just like sort it out, just get it done. Just like don't leave it to the last minute, because what's the point? Do you know what I mean? If you can go and get yourself it done over like Christmas or something like that, when people need the help, especially when they need the help. So that might be like handy for you guys. I think I will do some little, you know, tours of, you know, the books. And I think I'm going to also do, I'm going to try, because I did say this last year that I was going to like, you know, record my experience through foundation, but I just didn't. I've just left it all to 1 minute and be like, oh, look at this. Oh, that's another thing. You have to do a portfolio. Big A1 for portfolio. So I think I'm going to do a sketchbook tours of my books properly, so I can film them properly to show you guys what they're like. I'll do a portfolio tour and talk about that. Also, I'm going to do a video talking about my university interviewing experiences, because that was not the way I thought it was going to go. I had in my head that I was going to go to a certain uni, and then as soon as I got there I was like, fuck no. Fuck no. Yeah. So I will be attending Liverpool Hope University, and I am super excited. I feel like I've made the best decision that I could have ever made. It feels like when you go somewhere and you just feel like, yeah, this is me. This is where I want to go. That was like that from the instant, from like the moment that I met the head of the course, was just like, yep, this is the university that I want to go to. And I think that's been the same for a lot of people, a lot of my colleagues as well, where if they are slightly unsure, they just figure it out. Like as soon as they go to like the uni, they're just like, yeah, this is where I want to be. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that, because I feel like I've just rambled and I don't even know what I've made sense. Hopefully I've kind of shown you the amount of work that you do. Obviously I've got none of my final pieces yet. Hopefully when I get them all back, I'll do another video where I can talk about the final pieces and talk about the process of how I've got from A to B. And I think I'm going to do a digital, because now I've figured out how to record the screen on my iPad. I can do a digital tour of my actual sketchbooks on my iPad. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in and watching, especially if you watch it to the end, because I know that I do waffle on, and I am a waffler. Look, I'm waffling now. But yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, go down below, subscribe, like this video, give me a thumbs up. I am such a